Now the discussion basically focused around that captives had reached a maturity level, that because of the maturity level an industry has developed highly professional services, but at the same time it's increasing regulatory requirements. And out of it leads to the question of whether or not captives are in the future still viable. And the question to viability very much was influenced by the recent labeling of the OECD as captives being potentially tax avoidance mechanisms, and at the same time that in terms of tax ruling, the base erosion and profit sharing rule is now very much focusing also on captives. The discussion really was, what is the added value of a captive in the future? Because we know traditionally captives have been very successful in terms of supporting risk management, in giving access to reinsurance market, and generally accepted as a risk financing tool. So the question now is, how do we take it into the future? And here in particular, the situation that now, according to the international finance standards, captives have to be consolidated. And as a result, basically, for an organization, the claims or paid out of the captive are consolidated in the mother company and therefore neutralized. Yes, indeed, it was a major focus, because again, if you want to create value, the question is, how do you take it out of its traditional area of what I just mentioned. So one area that was named was employee benefits. And here, one of the big values was seen that if you do an employee benefit program, it will allow you to gather data, it will give you better access to your financial information, and of course claims. So definitely one of the added value was that transparency was created in terms of data, but that of course applies to any risk that you would be taking. A second item was the captive as an incubator. And recently, cyber risk is viewed as one of those that you can initially put into your captive, and then, as it develops, you might be going out with information to then go to the market. I think we had different levels of maturity also in terms of participants. So some people were interested in forming a captive, others had a captive but wondered if they should continue. And of course we had people who were very convinced that captive was the best investment ever made. So for all three parties, I would say there was enough stimulants to say captives definitely are not dead. Captives are part of the toolbox of modern risk management. And I think there was stimulants for people to continue sharing information, and there were business cards exchanged, and I think from that point of view the roundtable was definitely a success.